Silver stacking is extremely exciting and it stimulates you on a number of levels. However, in that excitement, you are much more likely to make silver purchases and engage in activities that are not in the best interest of your silver stacking goals. If committed early in your silver stacking journey, these mistakes can easily become one of the 7 deadly sins of stacking silver. According to ancient stacking theology, the 7 deadly sins are the behaviors, feelings, or attitudes that inspire further stacking sins, which cost the silver stacker money and increases frustration. In the beginning, when gold and silver were the only forms of money, these sins didn't exist as humans knew nothing of these deadly behaviors and the problems they created. As wicked policymakers continued to eat from this forbidden fruit of money printing, the world experienced fiat and all the trappings of a debt-based society. As they kept the common man and woman from gold, and even as they demonetized silver, a small but determined subset of society recommitted themselves to real money. But the damage was already done, as those wicked policymakers had already introduced sin into the stacking. And of course, chaos ensued. These imperfect practices have become harmful to stackers and those learning to stack. For stackers, these vices are exactly the cause of the sin. Hence the confusion that makes us believe buying metals is the same thing as stacking for wealth preservation, insurance protection, and all the other things that come with sound money principles. In no particular order, the first sin is premiums. Have you ever asked yourself why the premiums on silver are so high compared to other metals? I'm not talking about in terms of dollars, but as a percentage over the cost of the metal. At around 25 and as high as 50% over spot for a single ounce of silver, it is the most budget-friendly and the most expensive metal to stack. Ironically, silver is referred to as poor man's gold, but premiums make it far more expensive. Even using the historical average gold to silver ratio of 65-1, which is 13 points lower than it is today, 65 ounces of silver eagles will cost you $2,500, while a gold eagle will cost you almost $500 less at $2,029. As investors in silver, the goal has to be to acquire your metals for as close to spot as possible. If nothing else, at least a premium comparable to gold, which doesn't start to happen until you start buying the bigger bars. Which leads me to sin number 2, not knowing what's important. When gold and silver were money, people did not concern themselves with the condition of their coins. Think about it. Do you really care about the condition of your fiat dollars? So why are you worried about the condition of your silver? Silver tarnishes because that's what silver does. Now, of course, you want to have some ethic of care for your coins, but ultimately it's just an ounce, and that ounce is what really matters. One of the biggest ways silver stackers waste money is spending 75 cents to $1 per capsule to put every single coin in a capsule. Just think about this. At anywhere from 75 cents to $1 per coin, you're spending an extra $75 to $100 per 100 ounces, which could actually buy you another 3 to 4 ounces instead. Instead, throw those coins into a generic tube like the ones I buy for $9 that has 5 tubes that holds 100 ounces. And then throw some silica packets into your tube and into your safe to help prevent tarnishing. Don't waste that money. Get more ounces instead. As a result of all this fake fiat money, the mints have pulled off one of the greatest tricks, which is actually sin number 3, falling in lust. Falling in lust with your coins because of the beauty we're paying for it, as a result, just doesn't make sense. I appreciate my coins for their inherent beauty and all that jazz, but what I love is what the metals do for me in my life and my wealth. Remember, 99% of the time that you own these coins, they're going to sit in a dark safe where you can't tell if they're beautiful or ugly. What I do know for sure is that it's still only 1 ounce regardless. I've already done a number of videos proving that you don't make the premiums back, so the goal is ounces, and I'm going to leave it there. The problem with falling in lust with your coins is sin number 4, HODL, hold on for dear life. So often I hear I'm never going to sell my silver. I'm going to leave it to my kids, and I agree with that 1,000%. The difference is I'm going to leave more because, again, I love what silver and other metals can do for my life, not for just holding them. Every single piece in my stack is available for sale and has a price. The key issue is, are you willing to pay my price? I'm not attached to these items because they are just metals with different designs on them. That's all. As a result, I don't have an issue selling at the top of the market, locking in profits, watching the price fall during the bear market, coming back in and buying more metals for less money and doing it over and over again. It's not hold on for dear life, it's hold on until the price is right. Deadly sin number 5, sovereigns. I'm not even going to go into great detail in this one. Pick any one of these 5 videos where I make the point that these are almost unnecessary. Hey, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the math and the promoters of the myth that these are more important than generics or they're really special, because they're not. Number 6, buying for the wrong reason or not knowing the reason why you bought. In the church, we have a saying that you don't want to be frustrated, disillusioned, and hard to get along with. Nothing can put you into that state of being like not having a clear understanding of why you bought silver, a reasonable price target, and a realistic time frame. For some reason, I see this in the silver community all the time because a number of promoters, hypers, and pumpers have spent the years setting unrealistic expectations for silver. Hey, again, don't get mad at me. I'm not disputing the merits of silver and that silver is an important metal. My issue is how it's been promoted without regard for fundamentals, technicals, or market conditions. Let me give you a real example. When you listen to most of these folks, one of the first things they'll tell you is how much in demand silver is going to be and how important it's going to be for solar and the green movement and electric vehicles. And while the increase in electric vehicles will steadily grow over time, most professionals estimate that this won't really have a large impact until 2035 and 2050. 2035, not 2025. But if you hear people discuss it, they make it sound like it's going to be tomorrow. For some reason, we are quick to point to silver being manipulated by the banks and maybe even the government, but we seem to ignore the manipulation from the promoters, the hypers, and the pumpers. I understand that may be hard to hear, but it is what it is, folks. Deadly sin number 7, not diversifying into other metals. For some reason, within the gold and silver communities, there are a lot of people that subscribe to the gold only or the silver only camp. I think that's a mistake. Diversification within the metals is very important as each metal performs differently. For example, look at the chart that shows how differently these metals perform during stock market crashes, or look up the chart about how they perform during recessions. We are talking about metals, not marriage. We don't have to be monogamous with our stacking. I'm sure Mrs. Stacker is going to give me an earful for that joke. Those are the 7 deadly sins, and I hope you don't fall prey or victim to any of them. With that, in the comment section, which of the 7 deadly sins have you committed? Which sin do you believe is the most detrimental to stacking? And is there a sin that I missed? If you're hearing this, you're absolutely an A+ student, and I can't thank you enough. Always stack smarter and never stop learning.